Warning, what you are about to watch is probably some really dumb opinions by me, Ace, as we are going to go on a journey where I review every single major wrestling show that has to do with the biggest show of the year in WWE. That's right, this is Ace's Road to WrestleMania. The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock said some stuff tonight. This is the Smackdown review of February 21st, 2025, here on Shockwave Sports. I am Ace. This is Ace's Road to WrestleMania. Thank you guys once again for joining me. We have hit a hell of a speed bump tonight, let me tell you, with yesterday. We heard some, news with The Rock that he was going to be in a Martin Scorsese movie and things like that. Who knew that this would turn into actually something for WWE, apparently? Yeah, this is wild to think. And yeah, there was just a press conference. I watched a little bit of it, but uh, didn't seem like nothing was being said. Yeah, The Rock said nothing in the press conference. Johnny Von Hollywood gave us that info. Shout out to him. Shout out to Germ. Shout out to Nick Alexander. I want your soul, Cody Rhodes. Yeah, this is weird. This is interesting. But yes, this is the SmackDown review. Hold on. Let me. Oh, no, that makes it worse. There we go. It was a little weird there on the side. Um, yeah, very, very strange promo by The Rock. We will get there in a second. But yes, that was all of the talk tonight. We were kind of anticipating. We were just waiting for the final boss to return. And shirt of the night is actually a Finn Balor shirt. I know he's on Raw, but I was rocking my boy Finn. Nice berry flavored Gatorade. One of these days, I gotta get a Prime from the gas station for the meme and drink it on air. I'll try to get a flavor that I never tried before. There was a guy that wooed when The Rock mentioned Triple H. Yeah, I really wonder what's going on in Triple H's head, what's going on with the state of WrestleMania, as things been turned upside down. But we'll get into it. So it was so funny, the opening of SmackDown. They did the usual ESPN type thing where they had the wrestlers walk into the arena or walk down hallways, and we see Cody Rhodes walk down the hallway. And it almost felt like a record scratch moment where Cody Rhodes is stopped by Nick Aldis and he's like, Cody, you're not in the main event tonight. The main event was supposed to be a 6-man tag team match between the Bloodline with Cody, Damian, and Braun Strowman. Nick Aldis says, you're not in that anymore. The final boss wants you to come out during his segment tonight. And Cody Rhodes just kind of had to agree with it. My one gripe with The Rock stuff that it always makes Cody look a little weaker. He's your champion. He should not look weak. He's the top guy, your face of the company. Even they've never made John Cena or anything like this. It was very strange. What up, Earl? 1 week till Chamber, and yes, as a reminder, we will be live right here on Shockwave Sports when the Elimination Chamber ends. That's Saturday, March 1st. Be kicking off March. And also a little plug before we go into SmackDown. Our WWE 2K big live event is this Sunday. See No Evil. You do not want to miss it. If you are new to this channel and you're just checking out Shockwave Sports for the SmackDown and Raw reviews, I highly suggest you check out our WWE 2K videos. It's pretty much where I put my money where my mouth is, where where I book and create a very fun universe full of original characters and some some characters that you may know in certain pop culture. I'm done with Rock using his power from TKO. I'm getting pissed off. Yeah, I think it's going to cause a negative impact, but yeah, we had that Cody Rhodes segment, which, in my opinion, wasn't the greatest segment. Excuse me. And then we had Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre. Another weird decision. The match was fine, and Jimmy Uso got the win over McIntyre. I'm really not sure what the direction of Drew McIntyre is for WrestleMania. There was a very hot rumor that it was going to be him versus Damian Priest. That's fine. I know people are complaining about it, but I mean, not everyone can main event WrestleMania. Drew had his moment last year. He won the world title. Yes, Damian cashed in. But you could also make that a story as well, that they technically already had a match at WrestleMania. And this could be Drew's, revenge thing. Make it like an Extreme Rules match. Put a gimmick match to it. Just don't make it a normal one-on-one match. So we'll see where Drew's journey goes with his WrestleMania. And Germ brought it up where Carmelo Hayes and The Miz is the most 2K matchup ever, where we had Carmelo Hayes take on R-Truth and Louisiana Knight, as R-Truth would say. Yes, L.A., of course, means Los Angeles for most people, but L.A. is also the excuse me, is also the letters the state of Louisiana use when to shorten it. Why am I blanking on the word? I feel like an idiot right now live on YouTube, but you get the joke. So R-Truth and Louisiana Knight, the U.S. champion Shinsuke Nakamura interferes, which causes Miz and Mello to win. Mello don't Miz, as they would say. This tag team could work. Am I kind of sick of the Miz just being lumped in a tag team? Sure, but what else are you gonna do with the Miz at this point? He's a veteran that could help Carmelo, who's a very young star here in I almost said Shock Wrestling, here in WWE. So I think it's fine. We had a Tiffany Stratton promo, and it was announced that Elimination Chamber, Tiffany and Trish Stratus will go up against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. That was a big shock to me, even with the interference from Trish last week. And Trish Stratus is back in action. Shout out to Johnny Von Hollywood, who has been waiting for Trish Stratus to return to in-ring action for a year and a half now. And he's finally getting it at a very random match, because it still really feels like that, her story with Zoe Stark never truly finished. They never had that match, and Zoe was her heavy the whole time. And especially with now Pure Fusion Collective breaking up with the release of Sonya Deville, this could have been a good time to use Zoe. Maybe, this could be false hope. Maybe Zoe interferes in this match and it leads to Zoe versus Trish Stratus at WrestleMania. But that's that'd be really shocked. Not with so. Let's see. And then we had a match. We had Tiffany Stratton versus Candice LeRae. Charlotte comes out in the middle of the match. She literally had a entrance and then she went to sit down for commentary. This all happened in the middle of the match. And then chaos ensues. Tiffany Stratton gets beat up, and Charlotte is once again stepping over Tiffany without doing anything. Very Charlotte Flair of her, I would say. Cody and Damian backstage. Pretty pointless promo. Damian Priest talked about how he'll pick Cody for the Elimination Chamber, and it's like, Damian, Jey Uso's already facing Gunter. Like, you don't have a choice in this. Unless it's changing, folks. Because then we get the final boss. The Rock comes out, And his intro of his song plays, and then it plays this. I believe it's Lil Wayne. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a Lil Wayne, and they show visuals of New Orleans. I instantly thought, okay, he's there to announce WrestleMania 42 will be in New Orleans. And it's like, okay, makes sense. He's, part of TKO. It's very corporate. It's like the Netflix thing again. The Rock comes out. He does his thing. He talks about, everything, and shows the WrestleMania 42 logo and everything. So we already have the logo for next year's WrestleMania. Looks fine. I like that the numbers are back in the logos. That I'm glad they did it for 40. They for some reason skipped 41, but maybe we're back to the numbers for 42 now. I like that. Um, just for personal preference because I lose track. I definitely lose track of WrestleManias when I can't have the number in the logo. So I'm glad that's coming back in a way. The Rock begins to say some gospel, as he said, and putting it down on somebody. Did not come out with the People's Championship, which I found interesting. Like you could say that he gave it to his family at the Netflix Raw, but then the next night on NXT, The Rock had the belt when he was talking to Ava. So I don't think he's fully decided what he wants to do with this People's title story. And The Rock comes out. He he does the New Orleans thing. He doesn't have the People's title, but then he does call out Cody Rhodes. So Cody comes out and he's looking a little wary. Cody himself might not even know what's about to happen. Who knows? And The Rock talks about how he wants to have a brother in Cody, that he wants Cody to be his champion, and Cody's rebuttal is that he is, the fans' champion, the people's champion, as you will. So maybe that could be the storyline going in. But then The Rock proceeds to repeat himself multiple times. I think he called Cody a great champion literally 4 or 5 times. I think The Rock is one of the greatest promos talkers of all time. Him and CM Punk are probably top two for me as the greatest on the mic personalities of all time. Like, seriously. I think they're top two. This was a bad Rock promo. And this was probably the worst one he's done in a while. It might have been worse than the Netflix one. The Netflix one was confusing, but this one, it was like, just get to the point, bro. And we never got to the point. He just talks about the same thing and didn't really give away. And he didn't want Cody to make his decision whether or not he's essentially joining him. I don't even want to say that because that's not what he said. He wants Cody to be his champion. That can mean a multitude of things. They could be doing a corporation type of storyline, like when The Rock himself joined the McMahon family and the corporation faction back in 1998. They could be saying because Cody teamed up with Roman that he now should have a liking with Rock. But then what was the 1, 2, 3, and then that, and then don't know. It's very confusing. Also, if we go way back to the night after WrestleMania, Cody gives The Rock gives Cody something. We don't know what it is, and we still don't know what it is. I thought it was going to be the Rolex that, came out that Cody gave everybody. And the Rolex was going to be like destroyed or something. I thought that'd be a cool visual for the story. They were what I thought was the story. But The Rock showed the Rolex online, so that wasn't it. What did he give Cody? A ticket to Moana 2? Because The Rock did talk about how he took Cody to the Moana 2 premiere. it seems like there was just a middle part to this story that was never fully fleshed out. And now we're stuck in this middle thing. Yeah, but Germ said he wants The Rock versus Roman. I think The Rock versus Roman would have made a lot of sense for this year if Cody versus John Cena or Cody versus CM Punk is the direction they're going. If it is going to be The Rock versus Cody, what does this mean for Elimination Chamber, like the men's match itself? Does the winner get added to the Cody and Rock match? Does the winner get added to the World Heavyweight title match? This is all, it just all feels like it doesn't have a plan. And I truly, now we're back in this limbo where I truly don't know what it's gonna be for WrestleMania, where we're once again back to where we were last year. But at least last year we knew at the very least it was Cody versus Roman for the title. We don't know what the title match is. So it's very hard for me to I'll always be excited for WrestleMania, but it's very hard to get invested in something that I really have no idea what the direction is. Say what you want about AEW right now, but you know, Edge versus John Moxley or Cope versus John Moxley, I get the story there. I don't, it's been hard for me to get invested, but I understand what they're doing, and I know what probably the end game of that is because I know there's a match. I get WrestleMania 41 was exciting because of that unpredictability, but this is more annoyingly unpredictable. And it's just very hard to me to get invested right now when I don't trust either party to really get into something. And Triple H's booking, he just seems he wants to take his time. And I really truly have no idea. It makes Elimination Chamber insanely unpredictable. Especially, does the Rock and Cody segment happen before or after the men's match? Because you know it's going to be towards the end of the show. It's The Rock. If it happens after, and then maybe you have, say your winner's John Cena, you have John Cena come out, and there's a whole debacle between it if The Rock and Cody challenge each other at WrestleMania. There's many different directions you could go with that, I think. Um, yeah, this is this is a very confusing time. This is a very, very confusing time. Pretty Deadly faced DIY, and we'll get back to the Rock stuff right after. Let me just finish SmackDown. Pretty Deadly faced DIY, and it kind of turned to a debacle with both the Street Profits and Motor City Machine Guns. I think it's quite obvious this is all leading to a multi-team match. Whether that's a ladder match or something else, something's going to happen. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I like all four of these teams. Let them go at it. I have no problem with that. Damian Priest and Braun took on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. This was pretty much just a match for Damian Priest to get a big win before Elimination Chamber. I don't have a problem with it. People don't like that Damian's in the chamber. As a Damian stan, I don't care. But he's a former world champion. He was a top guy last year. Why would he not be in the chamber? I don't see the complaints. There should be more complaints for Logan Paul in the chamber than Damian Priest. And I feel like I see a lot more Damian Priest criticism, which is staggering because the other guy is Logan Paul. So I really don't know. Very very strange times. But that was SmackDown. I think grade wise, I think I'd give it a solid B. I liked all the matches on it. The Rock promo was confusing, but I will say it felt more like a WrestleMania build to SmackDown. Things did happen that are leaning towards Elimination Chamber and beyond. So yeah, as we reach a half hour into the stream, I'll pull it over to you guys. Any questions from the chat? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should cover. But give me 1 second, guys. There we go. There we go. Yeah. I'll pull it over to you guys. Any questions from the chat as we reach the 30-minute marker into this stream? Overall, it had its moments. I thought the Louisiana night thing was funny. uh I'm trying to think if any other big wrestling news happened. I did watch the first episode of LGF. Is it LGF? Yeah, LGF on the A&E network, WWE's new reality show. It looks cool. It's like The Voice, but for wrestling, with the promo class and everything. It was entertaining to watch. Very harmless. I'm curious where they go from here. I don't know. I can't promise that I'll finish the show. Maybe I will lose interest. Maybe it gets bad. But right now, I'll check out episode 2 and see where I go from there. I wonder who Shinsuke will face at WrestleMania, or if he will even be there. Do you think there's a possibility of a multi-man match? Yeah, the state of the U.S. title seems very barren. Like, it it I guess they're gonna run it back with LA Knight and Shinsuke. I think LA Knight wins it back, and he probably goes into WrestleMania as champion if I was a betting man. A multi-man match, I mean, I would not put it past them. I believe last year at WrestleMania, Logan Paul was the US champion, and that was a triple threat match. So if they were going to do something similar, maybe do more than 3 people, I'd be fine with that. Especially there are guys like Andrade and Carmelo Hayes who I would love to see at a Mania spot. Even a guy like Karrion Kross, like, that'd be cool to see. But the Shinsuke Nakamura stuff, listen, I was a big Shinsuke fan in NXT. I was all for Shinsuke, but that was 10 years ago, you know? And they have tried multiple things to get the Nakamura hype back up, and it just honestly hasn't been the same since 2016 to 2018. And I don't think you could come back from it. I think you got to get the belt off him. It's just not working. The fan investment isn't there, and it's not worth the investment on the belt. You got to give the belt to somebody more over, whether that's back to LA Knight or to somebody else. Yeah, I don't know where Nakamura goes from here. Honestly, I think he just extended this contract, so that probably won't happen, but I would love to see Nakamura in AEW or something like that. There's many opponents Nakamura could wrestle in AEW that I'd love to see. Ospreay versus Nakamura would knock it out of the park. Yeah, I think the Nakamura stuff has just ran its course, unfortunately, and sometimes that just happens with wrestlers. It you know, he should have beaten AJ Styles at WrestleMania 34. And I know we're talking almost 8 years ago, but he really should have. To crown the first ever Japanese WWE champion at WrestleMania, beating arguably the best wrestler in the world at the time, would have done amazingly for Nakamura. And fine, if you don't think he's a long-term champion, fine, have him lose it to John Cena the next month. I don't care. Let him have that moment, though, at WrestleMania. I think it would have been awesome. But that is not what they did. They decided to turn him heel for some reason, even though he was getting the biggest reactions. And yeah, and it was reduced to nothing. Him and AJ had some better matches, but it just wasn't it. I know I'm wearing a shirt, but that's how I feel about Finn Balor. Like, it's over. The Finn Balor, it's not happening. I I think I'd rather see Prince Devitt in AEW. Um, because at least you could rejuvenate him in a way there. There are a lot of guys right now who I think would work a lot better in AEW and the other way around. I think there's a lot of guys in AEW that would work better in WWE right now. So it's the unfortunate truth for some of these guys who have now been here for a decade or so, and it is the bitter truth. Somebody did just sign an extension. I believe it was Kevin Owens, and that's somebody who he's best friends with the Young Bucks. Um, it would be cool to see Kevin Steen in AEW, but I think he's really found his footing in WWE, and I think he's well liked by everybody, and it makes sense that he would resign. I think he could be a quality veteran for the younger talent now. Um, I think he even knows that he's not gonna be the top heel of the company anymore. But his Cody match was good though. That felt like a kind of like the last time he could do that though. Yeah, so it really all depends. But yeah, as for elimination chamber predictions, I'm still gonna say CM Punk. I'm gonna ride it with my boy. I think the women's chamber, I'm still gonna say Bianca. Yes, Kevin Owens' segment. I forgot about it because I did watch it online before Smackdown started. We had another home invasion angle where Kevin Owens is talking about Sami Zayn, how they're having this unsanctioned match, and this is going to be bad for Kevin's family. And then Kevin kind of pans over with his phone, and you see he's at Sami Zayn's house with his family. And yeah, it's it's a wrestling trope at this point to do home invasions, but they always work. They always make the rivalries more personal. You see this with Hangman and Swerve a year or two ago. Back in 2009, Triple H and Randy Orton did it. And of course, the very famous Raw segment with Brian Pillman and Steve Austin with the gun, the very famous gun segment where the USA Network tried to take them off the air and stuff. Yeah, home invasion angles really work, and they bring a lot of heat to a rivalry. I had no problem with it. Yeah, it was very interesting. Um, yeah, as far excuse me, as far as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I think the match will be good. They have incredible chemistry. I have no doubt they'll do well, and excited to see where that goes. Should be an interesting time. And I think I'm gonna go another minute, guys. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat now, as we'll be wrapping up this stream. I know it's already past midnight here on the East Coast, so the SmackDown streams are always a little more chill. But I'll be right back for Monday. Should be usual schedule for Raw, which should be going live right after. So make sure to tune in for that. A big week, a three stream week. It's a big week in general because you got See No Evil on Sunday, and then of course Caw, Strike, the Go Home shows, and then you have my reviews of everything. Should be a fun week here on Shockwave Sports. I'm thinking about making an actual video about The Rock. Not sure if I will or not. But that is going to do it for me, guys. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Ace's Road to WrestleMania. Check out the Face the Ace channel also as well. I know you're all wrestling fans. I reviewed Kane's See No Evil movie over on Face the Ace. You could check that out right now, and we'll have a special episode of the Ace to Face podcast coming your way that dives more in depth about the See No Evil movies and some garbage horror movies as well. But yes, watch our PLE See No Evil Sunday here on the channel. and I will see you all in the next live stream. I gotta wait a couple seconds, or you won't hear my outro. Thank you guys once again for joining me. And there's something I've been really needing to say about Johnny Von Hollywood, and that